Summer anime is getting started and it is getting spicy. Oh, I mean, it's getting hot. It is getting like 104 degrees Fahrenheit, which to Celsius, for all you Celsius users, I don't know what that translates to. Today, we're talking about Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. Let's talk about Wyatt Good. Now, Doga Kobo has proven time and time again that when it comes to shonen or romance, they know exactly what they're doing right now. They got bangers like Oshinoko and my personal favorite, super underrated, Monthly Girls, which please bring Monthly Girls back. I beg you. I love that anime so much. But Doga Kobo has proved that they can pump these out and they can make them really good quality with very, very minimal plot and very focused characters that you just can't help but fall in love with. And Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian. So far is exactly that. You only got Kuze, the main guy, who of course he's hot, but of course he also looks like every single isekai main character of all time. But my boy is an otaku, and it's not very often in a lot of anime that you get an actual like genuine otaku. Like my dude is doing like
Genshin rolls in class
for waifus and talking about the first episode of anime like I'm doing right now, and he's great representation for all of us nerds out there. And then there's Alya. She is this Russian transfer student that sometimes communicates in Russian to Kuze and doesn't know that he actually speaks a little Russian. How convenient, because of a childhood friend that he had that he seems to be still trying to track down. So this first episode really does set a great tone, I think, for just two characters that you can see playing that kind of cat and mouse game in a lot of romance, but also with kind of like there could be a surprise twist with Kuze's past with this person that he's, fantasizing about or wants to reconnect with. And the thing that I also think that Doga Kobo can do very well is they've proven that they can get real hot real quick, and this is no exception. This might be the king of exceptions, actually, because halfway through this episode, you're like, okay, slice of life, normal chill, we're just having fun. And then Alya's just like, hey,
take off my sock, put on another sock,
and let's expose what's going on elsewhere. And it kind of goes from there, and the tone suddenly shifts. Like with a lot of these new anime, I go in pretty blind. I kind of did expect a little bit of romance and a little bit of maybe spice, but this one was just like, let's just burn the place down with heat, okay? Let's just burn it down and make it an episode of a Gordon Ramsay show, kind of hot. And it got spicy really quick, but I think it was good. I think it was for the type of show now I understand it to be. I think it is still exactly what you'd want it to be. And I can say that I do see this anime after this first episode definitely kind of polluting the more degen side of the otaku sphere out there on the internet. If you know, you know. And so far, this first episode is very compelling. The characters I like a lot. I think there is some good mystery, and I think the dialogue is paced very well. Very good back and forth sassiness, like you would want in any type of kind of that cat and mouse romantic environment or development to come. Now let's talk about Wyatt Bad. So I do think that maybe if you were expecting there to be a bigger cast in the show that stands out, I don't really think it delivers on that. I know it's only the first episode, so time will tell. And it does kind of set up in almost like a little bit of like a harem kind of dynamic, almost like maybe like a harem light, if you will, because there's a bunch of other pretty girls that kind of like interact with the cast of characters, and they all seem to, of course, like the otaku Kuze, which we know in any reality that's probably not going to be usually the high school norm. So I think maybe stretching the believability bit on that note was a bit of a downside for me. I don't really want this to be have any harem element as much, but I do understand that, you know, in high school, jealousy is going to be a key factor for romances. So maybe we'll add some controversy to the pot and stir it up a little bit. I do think also maybe when the scenes got kind of saucy, maybe they dragged it out a little bit too much. Like you could have held off a little bit until later episodes. I know you got to keep your viewers watching, so I understand why it happened the way it did, and I'm not super mad about it, but I do think maybe you could have toned it back and saved a little more of the sauce for later on, because then it kind of builds up a little more, and it feels like something that you could have maybe seen coming in future episodes. So yeah, very minimal things, honestly, at the moment for this first episode that I think are not as good. I don't think there's going to be a lot of really prevalent side characters, like I said, aside from maybe the harem girls, but even then, I think they're just mostly going to be presented as roadblocks down the way between like Kuze and Alya, kind of like maybe connecting. So what are my final thoughts of Alya sometimes hides her feelings in Russian? I think that if you like spicy anime or like anything Doga Kobo produces, that you'll probably really like this anime. I did, and I really like most stuff that they push out nowadays. And I'm excited to see where it goes. I do think the spice is suitable in this. I think it's gonna get way spicier as it goes on, and I like the characters. I like the dialogue. I really like the environment they set up in their school design in particular, and the animation. I think it's really kind of it's really, really comfortable. And I think if it's going to be primarily based in kind of a school setting, which it is, it's got to be nice and cozy. Got to feel like I can just chill there. And they nailed that. So yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes. I am really excited to see what happens with the anime community that reacts to this online, because again, the spicy it pops off. So yeah, I could easily recommend this to anybody that likes slice of life or a little bit of spicy romance, a little bit of hot sauce. If I had to rate it right now, just off the first episode, I'd probably give it a 7 out of 10. So, I mean, I had a really good time. I think there, again, could be some bigger elements to kind of evolve, because I think the hard thing with a lot of romance anime is always like, my thing is, if it's going to be the cat and mouse game, you got to make it an enjoyable kind of chase going throughout. It can't just be like episode 5, confesses feelings, they're together. And now their only dilemma is like, how do we be a fun couple in high school? Like, I don't want to see that. Don't give the payoff right away, please, or you're gonna nerf your show. So yeah, I think you should check it out if this sounds interesting to you. And until I find another anime to talk about, you otakus, I'll catch you later. All right, bye.